This will be a guide on how to get any official badges without other users' data. For this, I recommend you have a modded 3DS. Having followed this guide, however, it's not 100% necessary. I just say this because it's easier, as you will have everything you need. If you had any other mod and want to update with this guide, you can use this part of the tutorial, which will give you instructions on how to update your current custom firmware to Luma 3DS on the latest version of the 3DS. But technically, the bare minimum you need is God Mode 9, this version, or the latest version. FTPD, not necessary, but I'll be using this to transfer files from my 3DS to my PC. Or you can get FTPD from Universal Updater, which you should already have installed if you followed this guide. Okay, that's the things you need on your 3DS. You'll also need a few other files. Simple Badge Injector. This will also be for your 3DS, but can only be obtained from one of the 3 links I have on this thread. All Badge Tool to get official badges directly from Nintendo, and Advanced Badge Editor to create badge data for your 3DS. Okay, let's get started with this. On your 3DS, the first thing you're gonna do is, while holding Start, press or turn your 3DS on. This will boot into God Mode 9. Then the next thing you need to do is move down to Memory Virtual and then boot 9bin. On the bottom screen, copy to GM9 out. And once that's done, you can exit this menu by pressing B and pressing Start to reboot. Since I'm assuming you followed the guide to hack your 3DS I showed in the beginning, I will also be assuming you have at least Universal Updater, and this you can use to get FTPD, which can be used to transfer files. All you have to do is wait for this to load. Once this is loaded, you can search for FTPD, and on FTPD you can press A and install ftpd.cia. This is the version I'm using. The classic is not necessary. The 3DSX versions are also not necessary. Just that one. I already have it installed, so let's just exit by pressing Start. And moving on to FTPD, this, so long as your 3DS and your PC are on the same network or Wi-Fi, you can connect to your 3DS via this IP. And you're just gonna want to copy that into this PC, right-click, add a network location. You'll see this window pop up. Next, choose a custom network location, and then paste your IP address like this, so without those square brackets. You'll also need FTP : / and then this final bar should not be needed, but you can also put that there. And press next. You can log on anonymously. Type in any name for this. I'll do 3DS. And open this network location. When I click finish, you should have access to your 3DS's files. I'll just refresh and you'll see things happen on the 3DS as is supposed to. And then on your 3DS, you'll want to take out the boot 9bin from GM9 out, like this, and I'm moving it to my downloads folder. That's where I have everything downloaded. Then open all badge tool. This is now for downloading the badges, and I'm gonna just be downloading European version 130. You can download multiple at once, and the versions 131 have more badges. The PC versions I'm not going to be explaining in this tutorial, but there is a small explanation within this section in the thread on what this actually means, but it shouldn't be relevant for now. So you should now begin, so long as you have the boot9 bin within the downloads or the same folder. You have all badge tool, and it will also create on the same folder a data folder. You can of course browse a new location, but that's up to you. Then download, it'll be pretty quick really. Then it'll unpack. It actually decrypted first, but decryption is so quick you don't even see it. And that's done. This definitely has the least amount of badges you can get, but it has enough badges for me to demonstrate what you can do. And I'll be using something like Mario Maker just for demonstration purposes. You'll see it has a bunch of weird files, like there's a cab and a lot of PRBs, all with weird names. Don't worry about that. Everything is in the zip file. You don't have to worry about the DAT file or the SARC file. Next thing, open all advanced badge editor, and you can already create new data. However, you need this Nintendo Network ID. So before we do anything else, let's install Simple Badge Injector, which is pretty simple. You can just drag it into the CIS folder. If you don't have this folder, you can create it, copy and paste it. Once you have Simple Badge Injector there, you can go onto your 3DS, press start to exit FTPD, go into FBI, SD, CIAs, current directory, install and delete all CIAs. I already have it installed, so I'm just going to delete all CIAs, but you want to install, of course. With that done, you can exit all menus and just press start. And you should now have this app, which will be very simple. As you open it up, it will show you your NNID. You can barely see it on this camera, but you don't have to see it. You just have to trust me that this will be your Nintendo Network ID. It'll have numbers and some letters, probably. You also have 4 other options and an exit option, which counts as a 5th option, really. And mostly that. All you're going to need now is the NNID, so copy that and paste that into, or you're going to want to write that on Advanced Badge Editor. Now, do not miswrite this, otherwise you won't get your badges. So I know it's 68 F0 F501. For context, the NNID does not ever contain O's, only zeros, and the letters it can contain are from A to F. This should be the NNID I need. Once you have that, you can import entire set data. I'm going on Downloads, Data, Mario Maker, and over here we have the cab. It tells me to select this. Then I select a single PRB file, and then Control A to select every other PRB, and then just open. And this will import a bunch of Mario Maker badges. Now, once it imports, it actually only gives you one of each badge. And if you want more badges, you just click 255 of each badge, and now you have as many badges as you want. Simple as that. Okay. Now you can save this data, and I'm going to save it onto this PC, downloads, well, data. And that's it. You can now close this, but if you want to add more badges, that's up to you. Or more sets, really, that's up to you. You can also create custom badges with this, but I'm not going to be explaining on how to do that. Plus you can create your own sets. But let's just get out of this app before I have another brain aneurysm. And next you'll want to copy the files that it outputted, badgedata.dat and badgemngfile.dat, into 3ds. And oh, I forgot to connect again. So on your 3ds, you're gonna want to exit this app. It was literally only to show you your NNID. Then go into FTPD once again. It's like taking your SD card out without taking your SD card out. It's really useful. Then back on your folder where you can access files from your 3ds, refresh it, and you should be able to see them. Now you want to be on the 3ds folder. So this is the root, this is the 3ds folder, and inside here you want to create a new folder, call it simple badge injector, and inside of this folder you're going to want to paste these two dat files. It'll do its thing, and this badge data file is the largest one. That's 15 megabytes. So okay, with that transferred over, this should be all you need. Now you can go back onto your 3ds, press start, go into SBI, Simple Badge Injector. It really is just a simple tool. Now you can barely see the text written here, but the first option says create Extdata archive 0x14v1. You want to do this. Even if it fails, that's fine. And once it succeeds, if it succeeds, it shows up here or down here. If you already had it, it'll just say Extdata archive already exists. That's also fine. With Extdata archive created, you can now inject, which is the third option. It says inject custom badge data, and you can inject. This takes a while. Okay, the injection successful. You can now exit the app, and that's it. You should already have your custom badges here, or technically official badges. Here you go. If you can't see your badges, if it says you have no badges, then you probably mistyped your NNID. If you don't have a Nintendo Network account assigned, you should try an NNID of 0. And generally speaking, that's all that could possibly go wrong. If anything else goes wrong, I would like if you guys told me. It's as simple as that. Here we go. I can just drag things out. Here's a boot, and here's a bunny in that boot. There we go. Adorable. Alright. It even has the badges properly displayed, like the big badges. Pretty sure, right? Yeah, buff bunny. Cool. Alright. Thanks for watching. That should be it for this tutorial. And I hope this was helpful. Bye bye.